Almost live.
And an hour late.
We are an hour late today. We literally are an hour late. I'll try not to
delete us.
I'll try not to delete this one.
I think
here.
It was quite symbolic that he deleted us.
Yes. Now I'm going to turn it around.
Back to you.
We had quite a night last night.
I think it's so close. I'm scared.
There you go.
It's too close.
It's too close? Well, then speak up. Say, it's too close.
It's too close. You're too close, honey.
I hear that a lot. Okay.
Since when? 1966?
Yes. Okay, there are actually people watching at the moment.
Well, then you have to say something because I'm not supposed to be on camera. It's your show.
Oh, well. Okay.
Turn it later when I have something to say.
Okay, here I am. Yes, we're in the parking lot of Sprouts Farmers Market. It is our regular Tuesday shopping day, but it's blending into afternoon. Actually,
it'll only get worse as the day goes on.
It'll only get worse as the day goes on. We had a wonderful time last night, the first Monday Night Magic class.
We tried to, we attempted to reconstitute ourselves.
Yes.
By pouring sweat on us.
Sort of like when you sweat into a spoon of Tang.
What?
So
we
dripped ours.
Please do not let your mind wander at this time. I'm tired.
Anyway, and we got to sleep in just a little bit.
What, 15 minutes?
About 15 minutes,
So
yeah.
it's until 6:15, but I had to go water plants and other things that we didn't do.
Yes.
We had to get bottles for the turtle water and stuff.
So
anyway.
But we had a wonderful time. We had a nice living room full of wonderful, nice people.
Yeah, it was very, very well. A terrible thing to say. We were pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, and people were overly generous, but I'm sure that'll settle down as time rolls on.
Yeah.
And anyway.
And we talked about
talk without booing.
Constance, who is the I'll talk about it later in my little.
Am I on or you?
Yeah,
your face?
But
is your face on or mine?
Yours is.
Why you're talking?
Oh well, because every time I try to turn it around, I turn it off.
It's not my fault.
But anyway, yes, Constance is the resident, literally the resident heckler. But she was kind to me last night. That won't last.
He's getting feeble. I said that won't last.
That won't last. But anyway, we had a very good time and did the first in a 4-week little thing on introductory Enochian.
And saw some old friends and new people.
Yep. So.
Who endured us.
And it just felt good to.
Well, a house without. See, our living room is and pretty much has been for years since John Paul left, and we have TV in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Am I on now?
Yeah, you are.
We have TV in the bedroom. Our TV is that big, our screen, right?
Yeah.
When we had it for 30 years.
It must be 30 years.
It's one we like. It's very odd, and anyway, I think other people like it too. When they just keep it forever. Anyway, and we have an antenna, and we don't have cable in it. So anyway, we watch TV in the bedroom, and it's kind of like it's our tent.
It's our den.
It's our den. In there it's fine, and we've always had our living room at the last house. In this house, it's like a parlor.
You're right.
It's Grandma's parlor for
entertaining
guests, and it's for guests, and the living room without people in it is
just a room.
It's just a room, and it was always dedicated to initiations, masses, and classes. Our living room was. We don't. Lon won't do mass anymore, and we don't do initiations anymore. That's a fine thing. Other people do a better job, and and but we did do classes for a long time, over 45 years or something like that, you know. And so it's nice to have I dedicate the space again with human presence.
The living room felt consecrated, at least blessed.
By the presence of the people who came.
That's right. So it was nice. So we're looking forward to next week. And
Lon will figure out what to do by then.
I'll figure out what to do, just like I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do this morning. Oh, but you had a thought.
I had a thought.
Oh, good. Here we go. You had a thought.
I had a thought last night because I spoke up and didn't contradict Lon, but I said something that he said in a totally different way.
Yes, that's a way to put it.
That's the kind way of putting it. Yes. Anyway, I'm going to thump the book of the law, but I'm not really going to interpret it. It's chapter 1, New East chapter, verse 56, and I'm going to leave off the first sentence because it has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. And then there's an which sounds like an amen. So it sounds like it's two thoughts in one verse anyway.
Okay.
All words, great. All words are sacred, and all prophets true, save only that they understand a little. Solve the first half of the equation, leave the second unattacked. But thou, I am presuming, Louis is talking about Crowley, thou, I don't know, thou hast all in the clear light, and some, though not all, in the dark. Which I am going to just say maybe they mean.
Or we could look at it this
look
way.
at it in a way that all systems, all religions, all philosophies, all systems of magic, or whatever you call you're doing, that other people try to share and expound to other people the writings, usually, you know, or
scriptures
or something, are only partially true, and there's always a part that's slightly has an error in it. Could we think of it that way? I'm talking to you. You went to sleep for a minute.
Excuse me, I was.
I know he was.
I was ascended to Brahma Loka.
That's because I was talking.
No, I was.
I must be a saint because he always ascends to Brahma Loka when I'm speaking.
Just being in her presence.
Oh, yeah, sure. See how he covers that up? Anyway.
I achieved nothingness.
God. What am I going on?
No, it makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, so.
Just like it says, all prophets.
All words are
all prophets are true, save they understand.
All words are sacred. All prophets. They only understand a little. So, when Lon was talking about something last night, I explained it, and I thought there are always things in lots of systems where I read something about Buddhism, I'll read something about something Catholicism, I'll read something about Hindu, or I'm reading something about lots of stuff in people call magic or whatever. I'll go, I don't think that way. And sometimes it's because I need to open up and get a new idea in my head, and I have a blockage to that kind of thought. But often, it's something after years and years and years, I just go, I'm never going to think that way. I don't understand this. I think like this instead. And I'm thinking, if we are all extensions, oh God, I'm going to see this later and go, she's actually talked about this. If we are all extensions of God's mind, just extended, why don't we trust ourselves when we are reading another system, to say, this is the error in the system. I found the error in the system, and my way of thinking is correct for me, at least.
At the moment.
At the moment.
Sure.
Well, it's always at the moment.
Well, you're attacking the second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't we trust ourselves more? Why do we always think somebody else knows something more, that we're idiots? You know, ego, it says to us, we're the greatest, we're separate from everybody else, we're above everything else, but it also says we're not worthy, we're too stupid to know the truth. You know, we're sinners. But ego also does
both of us knew that was bullshit in high school.
Both those things are
when
not
I
true.
got expelled
either
twice.
End of it, either end of that
Yeah.
dimension is ego, not just that I'm the greatest in there. Anyway, so why don't we we should trust ourselves more when we're reading something. And if we think we have a better answer to something, at least for the time being, don't be afraid to think that way yourself, and maybe even to share it with other people.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say for this morning before Lon goes to sleep again.
No, but look how I'm going to turn it around. Yeah, look how following even Crowley's career and the evolution of his thought, how he will brashly say, make a statement that is super profound and insightful and enlightened, and in the very next breath say the dumbest, rudest, smallest, most bigoted thing. So.
Pardon me?
Your van is beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
You guys are beautiful.
Oh, bless your heart.
Thank you.
That's the best I've seen all day.
Yeah. You made our day.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Okay.
Have a wonderful day.
You too. Oh, wasn't that nice? Well, anyway, thank you, dear. I'm going to turn it back on you just for a second so you can say, I can say, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law.
This is the end? Well, love is the law of under will, but you're not turning us off, are you?
No, I got a little something to say here.
So.
Okay. Do you need to get anything out of the back?
I crawled back there to get it, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
I
Okay.
like crawling through the car instead of opening the side door.
All right. She even crawls through back hatches and things like that. She is I'd say she's a cat burglar, but she's more like a possum burglar.
I'm a ninja.
You're a what? You're
Mama.
Ninja Mama.
I don't want to be the killer kind, just the kind that spies.
Would you roll down the window here so
More?
it might cool it off to 92?
Not that hot.
Okay. Well, anyway, what was I going to do?
Thank them for enduring me.
Oh, she is so sweet. I'm the luckiest man in the world. This is the first time, last night was the first time that we transformed our living room as much as we could to get 11 or 12 people seated in our limited seating and arranged on floor cushions and such. And still there were, people that couldn't see very well, but we had handouts and things that we passed around. Anyway, it was wonderful, and it reminded us that it's part of the job we feel called to do, and it's sort of been put on hold for the last 3 years. The pandemic struck while we were still in Costa Mesa, and that put an end to it. It put an end to literally our lodge activities, and it was. We didn't realize it at the time, but it was the end of a huge and important part of our chapter of our lives, and it was wonderful to do this one little thing here, because we don't know that many people here in Sacramento, and our original Monday night magic class developed over the years, and the attendees literally came on and off for decades. And so it was like a wonderful extended family, and it seemed like we had a glimpse of that last night, and I enjoyed it very much. So I thought I'd share with you this very short little section of the book Homemade Magic, which I keep saying is it's at a new publisher, but it's been several years since it's been out of print, so I'm going to share a little bit of it with you. It's The Challenges and Rewards of Being Married to Another Magician. I've shared it before, but a marriage secret, and this little poem that I read when I officiate at people's weddings. When two strong souls and two strong wills and two strong minds unite, there will come rounds when standing your grounds will turn into a fight. So here and now, before reciting your vows and while you're high as a kite, agree that one of you will know everything and the other will always be right. This compromise is very wise, and you'll use it day and night. It's an understanding. It's not demanding. It's unbreakable. Try as you might. So leave behind the undefined and step boldly into the light of a world where one of you knows everything and the other is always right. Now, I don't know if the above sentiments are really the ultimate secret of marriage, but they certainly ring true in the DuQuette household. Constance and I discovered in the early days of our marriage that when we discuss or argue about important matters, each of us contributes a unique and ultimately accurate assessment of the issue. I'm usually armed with an arsenal of facts and objective observations, but I'm quick to jump to conclusions and am inclined to pragmatically or emotionally surrender my ideals under the inescapable weight of objective reality. Constance, on the other hand, possesses the absolutely annoying ability to immediately grasp the deeper spiritual dimensions of any manifested issue or question. Furthermore, to make matters doubly infuriating, she has the guileless audacity to give perfect voice to the moral, spiritual, and philosophical truth underlying the entire situation. In other words, I may know everything, but she's always right. A relationship such as ours could hardly be called serene. But when all is said and done, it has produced a life of profound serenity. I won't try to kid you. We argue a lot. Familiarity really does breed contempt. And so far we've enjoyed 47 and now 50, this is now 57 years of familiarity. We argue because occasionally she actually needs to hear the cold, hard facts and the perspective of a flawed and perpetually adolescent mortal. And I ultimately always need to hear the voice of God and understand what those cold, hard facts actually mean to my soul. Together since 1978, Constance and I have directed the activities of a lodge of OTO. We've organized, set up, performed, torn down, and cleaned up after hundreds of degree initiation ceremonies. I'm not exaggerating, hundreds. Gnostic masses, public rites, plays, and celebrations, and literally thousands of classes and workshops. All of these events have taken place in classrooms, temples, and theaters created from the space and furnishings of our home, from our living room, from our garage, from our backyard. Inn tables become altars and fonts. Plant pedestals become ritual columns, and curtains become veils. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but this article has some pictures. And there's pictures of Constance in a robe, and let's see, maybe I can do it better this way. In a robe and an Egyptian nemes laying on top of a coffin. Oh, I'm putting the wrong thing back where, hang on. Okay, and on the, she's resting, okay. Getting ready for homemade magic can be exhausting. I have to confess that Constance does 99% of the hard work of setting up for our public events and lodge rituals. I caught her resting a moment on a shady coffin prior to the backyard rite of Eleusis. And here, oh shit, excuse me, where'd it go? And here is she's dancing in the back. We did the rite of Saul in our backyard. She's dancing in front of the coffin, and inside that coffin is the assassinated body of the son that has just been assassinated, executed, taken down off of his cross, and put in a coffin. And she is mourning him. And I failed to mention that our son played the son that year, and it's him inside that box in a beautiful gold and white nemes. Constance, as Scorpio Apophis, dances to Albinoni's Adagio in D minor and mourns the death and entombment of the sun god, played this year by our son Jean-Paul. In this scene from a backyard performance of the Rite of Saul from the rites of Eleusis, the columns in the background are our living room plant stands. The veil, barely visible, is strung between two backyard trees. The coffin was built by a lodge brother. On other occasion, it serves as our Gnostic mass tomb. It's hard work, and because of her need for neatness and perfection, and because of my inherent laziness and sloppiness, Constance always ends up doing 99% of the physical labor involved. Each event is preceded by prolonged and spirited discussions in which I know everything about one thing or another and she's always right. But from out of all the tension and conflict is born something very magical. A world rare and wonderful. A safe and relatively stable environment to raise our son. A cultural or subcultural atmosphere filled with stimulating conversation, art, music, and literature. A universe peopled with some of the most interesting, talented, brilliant, and colorful individuals in the world. Together, our craziness has enriched and transformed our lives, and allowed two magicians with extremely different styles and temperaments the freedom to do our individual great work while sharing our lives and our love with the world. Perhaps our most important collaboration has been the creation and presentation of the Miracle of the Mass. It's our all-day public seminar on the OTO's Mass of the Gnostic Catholic Church, more commonly referred to simply as the Gnostic Mass. In the last 20 years, we've presented this seminar from Tokyo to Oslo and throughout the United States. And it recently has been recorded and serialized on the internet. And I believe you can find it if you look for The Speech in the Silence. I believe it's on that series. The Gnostic Mass is a ceremonial tour de force of sexual alchemy, and in many ways is one of the most colorful and important contributions from Aleister Crowley to Western civilization. Western esotericism, I threw in this civilization. It is, quite frankly, the essence of the mysteries of the Holy Grail. Our love for and appreciation of this ritual made our collaboration uncharacteristically civil, and our usual volatile chemistry transmuted to create a serious and authoritative commentary on the ceremony, and, in particular, sex magic in general. Constance and I have yet to collaborate on a full book or musical project, which is perhaps a good thing. But in the early 90s, we collaborated on an art project that is likely to last long after we both have moved on to our next incarnational adventures. I'm talking about the Tarot of Ceremonial Magic, our deck of tarot cards. I believe there is perhaps no more perfect example of the challenges, tribulations, and rewards of a homemade magic operation than the story of the creation and eventual publication of this deck of cards. Okay, so that was taken from the book Homemade Magic, which is currently not readily available, but supposedly will be published someday by Magical Omaha, the people that publish that tarot deck. We'll see. But anyway, that's what I'll leave you with today. And it should be a segue to what I have planned tomorrow, which is a quick, bonehead, Holy Grail for Dummies. The mysteries of the Holy Grail, as explained as fast as humanly possible. And until then, thanks for waiting. I know we've been late. I'm sure most of you have missed this, and we'll probably see it either later today or on YouTube. In any event, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will.